I always begin singing time with the books of the Old Testament, and we are through Hosea and Joel. I might link that video right here. And then I always do our article of faith for this month. It's the 4th article of faith. And again, I might link that here. And I hope to do one with updated actions, corrected ones that I like better. So be sure to check that out. Okay, and then after that, we are practicing our Mother's Day song. So here is what I did for junior primary and then senior primary. For junior primary, I wheeled out my large chalkboard and I had these empty frames drawn on the chalkboard. Children, do you see what I have here? I have so many frames, but I'm missing something. I'm missing all the pictures that go in it. So I need some helpers to help me today, and I'm going to tell you how you can be a helper. Okay? Remember our Mother's Day song? We're going to be singing in a couple weeks. We've been working on it. Okay, remember, Mother dear, I love you. And then they fill in the blank. If I even get one child that says so, I say, oh, thank you, Wesley. Oh, Wesley knows that song. So I didn't even have to tell them what to do. If I just have one child that filled in the blank, I praise them, and then they catch on. Your happy smiling, they say, face is such a joy to look. And they fill in with at. It makes home a lovely. And they fill in with place. I say, oh, you're doing such a good job. And so that kind of reviews the first verse without having to put really much time at all into it. We are going to focus on the second verse today. I have some questions for you. I'm going to ask a question, and if you know the answer, raise your hand and share it. If you get the question right, you can come up and draw a picture of your mom. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, so I'm going to draw a picture of my mom first. Okay, so this is me drawing a picture of my mom, and I get a piece of chalk, and I don't have a real chalkboard, so I'm just going to have to pretend, and I'll show you what it looked like. Okay, so I sing through it as I draw. Mother dear, I love you so. I'll try the whole day through to please our Heavenly Father. I'm so glad He gave me you. And I'm done with the picture by the time I finish the song. Here is a picture of my mom. For now, just ignore the pictures on bottom. I just want you to see this top one that I did. So my mom, she has straight hair and it's short. She wears glasses most of the time. And I did a big smile because she's happy and she's very often smiling. That's what my mom looks like. So you think about maybe how you would draw your mom. Are you ready for the first question? All right, we sang about, I'll try the whole day through. I thought about a question about a day. Who knows what day of the week today is? Raise your hand. I was actually very surprised. We got about 4 wrong answers until we got to Sunday. Yes, today is Sunday. Sunday is the day we go to church. I thought it would be an easier question for junior primary than it was. So you might want to change that question depending on your primary. We'll see. All right, so they say, oh, very good, Curtis. Okay, do you want to come up? And I have my box of chalk. You can pick any color you want, and you can pick any frame you want. And they say, all right, you're going to draw a picture while we sing. Okay, everybody else, let's sing. Mother dear, I love you so. I'll try the whole day through to please our Heavenly Father. I'm so glad He gave me you. Then turn and say, oh, wonderful job. And with junior primary, you never know what you're going to get in that frame. But I just say, that's so great. This looks so great. All right, our next question. Now here's a little side note. I had all these questions about days because I'll try the whole day through. It was how many days of the week are there? What day is tomorrow? What day was it yesterday? But I actually didn't even ask all those questions because I remembered that my primary kids had so much trouble with what day of the week it was. So I actually just asked that first question. And then my next question was, how many days of the week are there? And I did have one child that said 7. And then part of being a good singing time leader is being able to kind of pivot and think on your feet. And I decided to scrap those questions because it was made apparent to me that they did not know the days of the week or what tomorrow or yesterday was. Maybe if you have a little older primary, you can ask those questions, but my primary was just too young to have that information already. So instead, I switched to a question that they could all succeed at. All right, so the next question, think of something you can do that would please your mom and Heavenly Father. To please our Heavenly Father. Beth, share your toys? Oh, that's such a good idea. That would make your mom happy. And our Heavenly Father wants us to be kind to others. I'm sure that would please him too. Okay, come on up. You can pick any chalk and you can pick any frame and draw a picture of your mom while we sing through it again. Okay, and children, as we're singing, think about something you can do to please your mom and Heavenly Father. That's what we're singing about. Mother dear, I love you so. I'll try the whole day through to please our Heavenly Father. I'm so glad he gave me you. Okay, raise your hand if you can think of something that you could do to please your mom and Heavenly Father. That would make them happy. Grace, do you have an idea? Oh, cheer up your baby brother? That's such a good idea. That's awesome. All right, you can come on up. So anyway, I just kept doing that, filling in the frames, and let me show you what they looked like. Here's the frames filled in. I thought my junior primary did a great job. Even if they had just done scribbles, that's totally okay, but I was really impressed that they had drawn faces. For senior primary, I did a different activity. Maybe I could have done this, but I found sometimes my senior primary gets a little silly with their drawing capability and making something look realistic. So I didn't want to have to deal with that silliness. And I thought the rest of the primary might get a little bit bored with the questions or just singing it over and over, watching one person draw. So I was trying to think of something that would engage more of them. And for that, we haven't done this activity in a while. You could really do it for any song, but I brought out my reverence rabbit. I just have a little stuffed rabbit. You could even do a picture of a rabbit if you want. I got this idea from a music leader years and years ago that just had little pictures of rabbits and called them reverence rabbits. But this is the classic. We hide the reverence rabbit. So for this one, I would just get the sticks, just pull names or do something where you randomly choose the children in your primary. So I just pick a stick and I say, okay, do you want to hide the reverence rabbit or find it? And if they chose, oh, I want to hide it, I say, okay. And then I pick another stick for the person who wants to find it. And I say, okay, the person who wants to find it, go outside and don't look. And so then this person takes the reverence rabbit and hides it in the room somewhere. I say it has to be, it's like an Easter egg. You have to be able to see it from one angle. So like no burying it in somebody's purse or hiding it where they would never ever be able to see it. They have to be able to see it from an angle. And when they come in, okay, this is where you really have to engage with this game. If they go closer to the reverence rabbit, children, you got to sing louder. And if they like turn the other way or walk far away, then you need to get really quiet. So this is actually very good practice for controlling our voices to sing quiet or louder. Okay? And we need everyone to participate because if I'm the only one singing, then we're never going to find the reverence rabbit. So we really need everybody, every voice to get louder or get softer so that way our seeker can find the reverence rabbit. We repeated this probably about 4 times and they had a lot of fun with it because I don't bring this activity out too often. And so when I do, they really enjoy it. I have a TV in my room now, and so I just make a Google Doc and post the lyrics on the TV. I change the font for the second verse, and I haven't decided if I'm going to have lyrics for the children during sacrament meeting because this is kind of a last minute song that we have to learn for Mother's Day, and it's not one we'll be singing for the program, and I haven't done a ton of time, and the children aren't there every week. We have a lot of turnover or sick kids or people gone a lot, and in those cases, sometimes I like to post the lyrics so they can feel comfortable with them and our visual learners can just read them and see the words. So I had these lyrics on the TV, which is kind of in the corner, while I still had my activity with the frames or the reference rabbit going, so it's here to reference as needed. If you don't have a TV, I might be able to link one of my videos, but even if you scroll, you can see that I used to just write it on copy paper, 2 by 2. I would do it wide and I'd write the lyrics very large and just tape magnets to the back, flat magnets, that like the free ad ones that you get, or like the magnetic sheets. I would just cut those up and put them on the back so I could just slap the lyrics up on the board, and it was very easy to have lyrics posted that everybody could see. And because it's copy paper, they would fold up and I can store them at home very easily. Please comment below if you'd like to see a step-by-step tutorial of how I do that. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this week's singing time, so I tried to think of something that would still be fun that I could throw together quickly. For times like that, sometimes I like to use these little spinners I bought years ago. They're magnetic and the kids have fun with them. And so I thought I'll find a way to implement this. We're doing the song Build an Ark, and so I thought, okay, what could I do with that? Add some variety. I want to focus on the second verse, but also I didn't have a lot of time. And for that, it's really easy to do a how to sing something. And so this is a how we sing the second verse to invite repetition there. So for junior primary, I just had this on the board, and if you see here, this is what I had on the board. I put the spinner in the middle, and then I just drew 6 different animals around it. All you need is chalk for that and really simple drawings. And if you, maybe I'll link the video because we actually did 2 of these animals in a different singing time activity that I taught the kids how to draw them through Build an Ark. And so maybe I'll link that there. We'll see. All right, children, do you see all these animals? We've been singing a song about animals. Yeah, build an ark, huh? Okay, so for the second verse, we're going to practice the second verse, and we're going to do an echo activity. So I'm going to sing it, and then you sing it. We take turns. So something like, I can be like Noah, whose faith in God was sure. Your turn. I can be like Noah, whose faith in God was sure. Very good. Faith is like an ark, it can help me be secure. Faith is like an ark, it can help me be secure. Very good. Okay, you get the gist. Yeah, that's very good. So now we're going to apply it here. I'm going to look for a super singer. And remember, a super singer is anyone sitting up straight, looking forward, and trying their best. And then you're going to come up and give this spinner a little gentle spin. And then this will tell us how we're going to sing the phrase. Okay, Beth, you want to come up and try? All right, she spins it, and let's say it lands on pig. Okay, this one's a little bit silly. All right, I'm going to sing the phrase, and then when it's your turn, we're going to push our noses up like a pig. See, okay, you just take your finger and you push up. I was surprised at how many kiddos couldn't figure that out, so I had to tell them how to do it. But just pull it up. Okay, you ready? Looks a little silly, huh? I can be like Noah, whose faith in God was sure. I can be like Noah, whose faith in God was sure. Very good. So we go back and forth on that, and let me just tell you what the choices are. So this is the lion. We're going to sing it loud. Now, we're not screaming and yelling. We're singing as loud as you can. No screaming or yelling. You can do that. The owl has really big eyes. So when we sing on your turn, you're going to pull your eyes really wide open. I have small eyes, so I have to pull them open. Maybe if you already have big eyes, you can just open them really wide like this. The mouse talks really squeaky. So on the echo, we're going to sing really high, and you can add a squeak if you want. High and squeaky. Okay, the pig we already talked about with the nose. The bear sings low. So when it's your turn to sing, we're gonna sing really, really low, if you can. And the butterfly is soft and quiet. So when you sing with the butterfly, when it's your turn, we're going to sing softly, but I still need to hear you. You can do that. We increase our singing skills when we sing soft, but I can still hear you. Very good. For senior primary, I used the same wheel and the same animal idea, but I tweaked it a little bit because they can read and they're a little bit more advanced. I wanted them to be able to see the lyrics and have more of a challenge. So, as I said before, I posted the lyrics, and let me show you what I did there. This is what the lyrics looked like for senior primary. This is the second verse of Build an Ark, and each phrase I put in a different color. And I said, okay, now when we spin the animal, whatever style we do, we're gonna sing the black regular, but then whenever we get to a green line, we're going to sing like that animal. So we sing this normal, and then if it was a lion, we would sing this really loud, and then normal, and then loud, and then normal. I found that my senior primary needs a lot of stimulation, and so if we just sang the whole verse loud, I believe that my primary, half of them wouldn't do it, or they wouldn't be able to hold the loudness till the end. So you need to think about your primary and see what would work there. If you can do the whole verse, that's great, but mine needed an extra challenge and extra variety with this. All right, for our last song, teachers, can you hand out a flag to each child? Quick, 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, and sometimes I count down all the way to 1. A little tip, I have flags, about 5 or 6 flags, rubber banded together that I give to the teachers at the beginning of primary before we have started. So they already have the flags ready to go. I often give them manipulatives like that, and so they just know that we're gonna need them in singing time, and when I say so, they're ready to hand them out. Okay, so they already have the flags, and we had a lot of substitutes in primary this last week, so I felt really good posting the lyrics of this song because it's the first week, we've never worked on it, and I wasn't sure if everyone knew this song. So this way, the teachers can sing with me, and I don't have to sing a solo. Can your flag follow my flag? Cross and down, cross and down, cross and down, cross and down. The Lord needs valiant servants to do his work in the freeze. Right here, we're actually going to change to stomp, stomp, stomp. Got that? Okay, so we're going to cross the flag across ours 3 times and then 3 stomps. Okay, let's try that again. The Lord needs valiant servants to do his work in the latter days, who follow the teachings of Jesus and serve his people in a loving way. I will be his servant and keep my covenants valiantly. I'll stand for truth, I'll stand for right. The Lord can depend on me. A couple things I did for junior and senior. To indicate to the junior that we're going to change from this action to the stomp, I actually held up my other hand. This seemed to help them because they had a lot more trouble keeping track of how many we do on each thing. Okay, so for junior primary, now I say, okay, good job, you did such a good job. Now, are you ready for a challenge? You don't have to do this, but if you are ready for a challenge, try switching your hands. Can you do the flag in the other way and do it across your body the other way? I know, that's hard. You don't have to do it, but we can try it. Okay, ready? With me. The Lord needs valiant servants to do his work in the latter days, who follow the teachings of Jesus and serve his people in a loving way. I will be his servant and keep my covenants valiantly. I'll stand for truth, I'll stand for right. The Lord can depend on me. Very good. Okay, take your flags and give them back to your teacher. Good job. Now for senior primary, they needed more of a challenge. So we went through the first time, And I actually think I use my left hand so they could, so I could mirror them. It's important that I mirror what they do. So if I'm here, then I am like a mirror to them. And I also reminded them as we're singing, I say, crispy arms, which means crisp moves. This is very strong and marching, and we are very crisp, and they seem to kind of rise to the challenge for that one. That was a lot of fun. So for senior primary, we did it once, and then I said, oh, now we switch to our non-dominant hand. Okay, do it again. And then I'm like, all right, are you ready for the final challenge? Okay, we are going to turn in a circle. Okay, so every time we do the stomp, 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 you're going to change and face the next wall. And then when we do stomp, 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 we turn to the back, and we're gonna work the whole way around. Okay, you think we can do this? All right, we think we can figure it out? And they're just like, yeah, okay. Now, I think it'd be helpful if I just turn with you. So I'm going to face the board. You're going to go with me, all right? So you should be facing this way. We're all facing the board. Okay, ready? We'll do this hand. You can kind of pick whichever hand you want, but let's do this one, okay? The Lord needs valiant servants to do his work in the latter days, who follow the teachings of Jesus and serve his people in a loving way. We're facing the back. I will be his servant and keep my covenants valiantly. I'll stand for truth, I'll stand for right. The Lord can depend on me. How do we do? Is everyone facing forward? Oh, good job. Okay, flags to your teachers. Fold your arms, sit down. Thank you for singing with me today.